Come on, get on with the review already. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Wow, another robot dump truck like me. And you have your own robot mode. What's this? Some sort of ridiculous looking truck and its oversized driver? Well, we're the best Carbot construction crew there is. Really? Then what's a Hummer doing in a team of construction vehicles? Hello, this is KR Brickbot here, and I'll be taking a look at Proudzet from Sonokong. It was first released in January of 2017, and its retail price is about 90,000 Korean won. Now, you may be wondering, what does Jet or Zet mean? Well, Zet is how Koreans pronounce the letter Z, which was passed down from the Japanese, which in turn was based on the Latin letter zeta. So to phonetically pronounce his name in American English, it would turn out as Prouds. But for the review, I'll just call him Proudzet and the orange bot Zesty. Now let's take a look at the box. This is a rather big box, measuring 385 centimeters in width and 395 centimeters in height, according to the official website. So for season 5 of the Hello Carbot cartoon and animation, Proudzet and his construction Carbot crew are essentially the mascots of season 5. Now let's take a closer look. So as you can see, there's the other members of the team are Star Blaster with Blaster and Starby. And there's Proud and Zesty there. And it says here that these four combined into Billion, and then they further combine with Duke and Crayon here to form Hyper Billion. A rather simple add-on combination. Okay, so I have this price tag here because I bought this for 30% off because some kid decided he really wanted to play with it in the store, so it got a discount for packaging damage. The depth of the box is about 140 centimeters, and on the right side of this you can see that there's actually something like stats here, which is interesting as only the construction Carbots have something similar to tech specs that you would see on Transformers bios and packaging. So if we take a look at this entry, so this is Proud, and this is his quote, and it says here that he's full of charisma and loves to give compliments. Okay, so this is power, and his power is quite high. Then there's his sunbalryuk, or agility, or something similar to tech spec speed, and it is quite low because he's a big old truck. And then 청신력, or willpower, something similar to intelligence, and it is also high. Now, Zesty here, it says he's quite fast and overflowing with energy, and so he likes to intervene with other work because he's quite impatient, and he can't sit in one place. He can't stand still, essentially. So, you can see here, his power is quite low, but his agility and speed is quite high, and his wheel power is somewhere in the middle. Okay, here's Proud and Zesty in their vehicle modes. And I'll be taking a look at Zesty first. As you can see, he transforms into a Hummer similar to a Hummer H1. Although it still baffles me as to why there's a Hummer in a team of construction vehicles. Now, let's look at some details. There's the silver painted headlights, and this big Carbot symbol. Some molded windshield wipers. Here's the side with some yellow details, pentagonal details on the door. And there's a little bit of plastic stress here due to the tab that's sticking in here. And on the back there's these 6 little lights. And this block is for supporting the legs in robot mode. On the underside there are some robot bits sticking up. And there are actually 2 different kinds of wheels here. So on the back, this is just a pin wheel with white painted inners. And here, this is actually a ring because this part is the shoulder for the robot mode. And one issue I have with this is that the feet and this torso bit here, it's a very low ground clearance. So this thing won't exactly roll up on rough surfaces that well. It does roll well nicely though, but it gets caught like that. But overall, a very nice looking Hummer. Now for some size comparisons. Here's Transformers Generations G2 Jazz. And here's Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Drift. So as you can see, Zesty fits in, well, very nicely with the regular standard Transformers Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader Class toys, or Chug. Okay, now let's take a look at Proud here. So Proud is this big red truck that quite frankly doesn't look exactly that good. So for some details here, there's this tiny little grille, these wide headlights, there's a windshield wiper molded in here, these little lights here, and here are some black and yellow warning stripes printed here nicely. And these wheels frankly look a little strange with these big pegs sticking out, and these wheels are far too forward on the truck. There's quite a bit of distance between the wheels and the mud guards. If only this was a little back here, then it would look a little bit better, in my opinion. So let's look at some details on the truck bed. So on the inside here, there are these molded smokestacks and some painted silver hydraulic pistons. Not much going on the back. And this truck bed is rather shallow, in my opinion. Now, one missed opportunity I think there is that for this to have the actual functioning tipping truck bed. So if you wanted to load something in here and you wanted to dump it, you would just have to go like this, or you would have to detach these and do it like this, which is quite awkward. So if the designers only put the wheels on the legs and instead of the truck bed, this would be a nice extra feature, but this is a missed opportunity. Now, another issue I have with this set is that Proud and Zesty here are out of scale with each other. So, in the Hello Carbot animation cartoon, you can see that Zesty is quite bigger than what is seen here. So, I have Hello Carbot Jetren or Zetren. And if you see here, this truck actually scales quite nicely with this car here. So, if this were size accurate, Zesty should be the size of Zetren here, but he's not, so either this is a massive truck that a little scout-sized transformer like Bumblebee here could ride, or this is a tiny little Hummer that looks like an oversized kid's driving vehicle thingy. So yeah, scale inconsistency. Okay, let's get into the transformation. So Proud doesn't have an individual robot mode without a combined mode. So we'll be transforming Zesty here. So first you pull out these arms. You can flip them down and detach this. Fold the doors back 180 degrees. And then fold this part 180 degrees. And then clip the crotch piece into here like this. And then finally fold down this until it clicks into place. And there you have Zesty in his robot mode. Okay, so Zesty has a rather nice looking robot mode with several details. Let's take a look at the head sculpt first. You can see this is a rather nice looking robot head with a little frowny mouth that he actually can't speak out of. His eyes light up like just like any other Carbot when he speaks. But this is a very nice, classic, traditional looking robot head. And his forehead crest, it does look similar. It does somewhat look like the front of the Hummer here. And there are some more yellow details here and some details on the feet that are in a molded split position. Okay, here's the back, and if you look right here, there's actually the robot head for Proudzet. You can't actually turn this around because this cavity here is only designed to fit the head exactly in this position. So he can have a giant robot head looking down on his rear or his legs here. A little awkward. Okay, as for articulation, he really doesn't have much. So there are these ball sockets in his hips, but his hips are quite thick. So you only get that much wiggle. Although you can make him do the splits and go backward and forward quite a bit. And then he has these knees that are not quite 90 degrees. No thigh articulation, unfortunately, due to the fact that his legs are screwed in like this. And that's it for the legs. As for the arms, they can go 360 degrees, and they have more than 90 degree elbow bend, but there's no bicep swivels as usual. And he has this ball socketed head, which can go 360 degrees. And another shame is that these hands don't have any molded 5mm post to hold accessories, which is a shame because in the previous robots of these Hello Carbots of these scale, like there was Leap and Skids, those figures had 5mm hands, but these don't. And now for size comparisons. So here's Zesty with Unite Warrior's Hound. And here's the Generations G2 Jazz. And here's Hello Carbot's Skid and Leap that I mentioned earlier. So as you can see, these guys and gal have 5mm hands, but he doesn't. So Zesty is tall as a deluxe class Transformers figure, and he stands a little shorter than these guys here. Okay, let's get him combined with Proud here to form Proudzet. So first you transform him back into Hummer mode. So if you don't want to have a showing robot head, you can turn the head 180 degrees. Although this does prevent the hood from folding completely. So you would have to turn the head back around again. Okay, so first you detach the wheels here, you click them into here. You fold this 180 degrees. Fold out these smokestacks into these little tabs here. Okay, then you fold out the feet. Okay, then you take these and you fold these flaps forward. Fold out the arms. Split apart the arms. Then you can clip them into these clips here. Fold that around, turn the arms. And then you can fold out the wings here. By the way, these wings are a darker shade of red than the rest of the red plastic here. And you can fold these at an angle too. So in the cartoon, Proud can actually function like this, although he would just be blind and flailing around, or just is essentially like a walking, living robot suit or exosuit in this mode. Okay, but let's give him a head. Okay, so you just simply fold this back 180 degrees and then tab it into these tabs here. You fold out the head. Or you don't have to do that in this stage actually. You can just take this, just plonk it in there, connect these rear view mirrors into these tabs, secure them into these clips again here, and then there's enough space here to turn the head 180 degrees. And now you have Proudzet. So what we have here is a rather nice tall robot here. So if you take a look at the head sculpt here, it does look rather nice with this silver mouth plate and these yellow crest and green details here. Okay, let's look at some articulation for this guy. But first, yes, there's this silver painted Carbot insignia here. So for the legs, there's just this ratcheted hip that can go out and in, and then back and forward, and a ease here. And these feet can fold in due to transformation, and unfortunately, he doesn't have any thigh swivels, which is also a shame. But what he does have is bicep swivels, but all because it's part of the transformation. And he can turn his shoulders 180 degrees, providing that the wings don't obstruct his back. And these hands actually have 5mm holes in them, so you can put little accessories in here like this that are not too deep, or else these shallow hands won't be able to plug them in. As for the wings, they can fold down like this, and you can fold them out like that and lock them in 2 different angles. As for the head, there's a 360 swivel, and you can fold it back like this due to transformation. So he can't hold this giant dragon sword very well, but he can hold this shield that I've just realized I've left it in a shape that I've bent this plastic. Oi. Okay, now for some size comparison. Here's Generations Armada Megatron. So of course he is a big guy. And then here is Hello Carbot Zetrin. I believe in the cartoon, Proudzet would be correctly scaled to Zetren rather than him here. So in the cartoon, there is a rare non-stock footage sequence where it shows that Zesty actually shrinks as he combines with Proud. And finally, here is Unite Warriors Bruticus. So Proudzet stands a head taller than the average combiner with these feet here. So, would I recommend this toy? Well, in my opinion, if you have the money, or if you're willing to spend big bucks, well, I think this could be a good toy for yourself or your kid. So, as it's like a 2-in-1 toy that kids or collectors can play with Zesty here, and then leave the big Proud here for outdoor play or giant robot display. But if you're trying to get all 4 of these here to make this hyper billion here, then it will be a expensive endeavor. Since combined at regular retail, this would cost about 240 Korean won, which would be even more expensive overseas, especially with this toy's weight and the box size. So if you're living in Korea, so I would recommend that you just search for used listings for cheaper prices if you're okay with the condition. And as for buyers outside of Korea, it's all a matter of preference in my opinion. Now let's look at Proudzet's abilities in the cartoon that the actual toy doesn't have.
자, 배달의 요정 프라우드먼 또 프라우드 초원 배달! 용접 빔! 체스트 빔! 타이어 어택! 이번엔 타이어 어택! 이번엔 옥수수샷 힘기다! 프라우드 제트 포스! 옥수수 샷이요! 라라라 자기 뺨 내기 타타타타타타타타.
So that's it for this review. Tell me what you think in the comments, and let me know what other Korean toys that you would like for me to review in the future. And be sure to like and subscribe. Bye.